You're listening to Mr. Credit on ESPN Radio 1700 with local credit expert Derek Evans. Now, live in studio, Mr. Credit.
Welcome, ESPN 1700. It's the lunch hour with Mr. Credit, here to tell you all the bad news about being a San Diego sports fan today. But that's all right. I'm going to bring you the truth.
I want the truth!
Because I know that's what you want. Right here on ESPN 1700, save the station in your dial. Huge Monday night football game tonight. Tiger loses in a playoff. The bowls are set, BCS-wise, national championship game, Oregon versus Auburn. Of course, it's like 8 years from now before they play the game, so we have plenty of time to talk about it. No reason to rush into that. In the studio today, co-hosting for the first segment with me, Paul Hinchell, the publisher for the San Diego Entertainer and Lifestyles magazine, SDEntertainer.com. Paul, how you doing, man?
I'm well, Derek. Sad like you, but I'm here.
Yeah.
A lot of bad news. A lot of bad news.
A lot of bad news. What are you going to do? I mean, all I've been doing is getting bad news for the last several years about all sorts of different things. I think the best thing you can do, I made a mistake today. Last night, I went out after the game to Walmart at like 9:30 and bought a Chargers shirt that I meant to wear in today to make a point, and I forgot to do it. The point was this. Everyone's going to get down on the Chargers today because Brooke basically used her little witchcraft or whatever to make sure that the Raiders won the game on Sunday.
I'm shocked.
Can't believe that you did that. And I just want everyone to know that as negative as you're going to get, the Chargers are still a contender. They're still a good team, and that doesn't mean you should jump off the fence. I've heard it all weekend. Heard it on the way in, listen to Hacksaw. Everybody's jumping off the boat again. It's like, guys, I know we're in California, but we don't have to be so flip-floppy. They're going to start calling us John Kerry California if we keep doing this. The Chargers are a good football team. They're just not a great organization, Paul.
I agree with you, and you could see it yesterday. One of the sad things was, speaking of Brooke, that there was probably more black and silver in the stadium than there was Charger fans. That alone is disappointing. But that's been a constant problem here. But yeah, I think it starts from the top down, don't you, Derek?
I do, and you bring up an important point that I think correlates directly to what happened with the Padres too, because I kept hearing all weekend. Of course, as soon as I hear, it gets emailed to me, so it comes over the phone. Adrian Gonzalez traded to the Boston Red Sox. This is something that's been coming, and people have passion around it. I have passion around the idea of trying to keep our best player. I mean, probably one of the best players in the game, much less the National League, and definitely on our team. Most consistent guy who hits 300 and hits 35 or 40 home runs in a big ballpark every single year, and has a good glove at first base. And everyone's trying to spin that to the positive side, which that's normally my job. Like, that's what I do. And they're trying to say, oh, well, you're getting these farm guys, and we need a better farm system and all this stuff. There's nothing good about losing the best player on your team. If you think that the San Diego Padres are a better team now that Adrian Gonzalez is not on the team, you are wrong.
And I think he would have stayed, too, with a reasonable offer. He'll make bigger bucks in Boston, obviously, because it's a bigger market. They have more money as a franchise. But clearly he could have been had, and they just made the decision to pull the plug, which...
We had another year with him, and so the idea is that they're sacrificing that year. I don't know if it's a money thing. I don't know, what's going on with the Padres, if they've decided that, hey, look, we were in first place all last year. We still couldn't get anybody to come to the stadium. It's just an event. It's California. That's the way things work. It's San Diego. There's lots of stuff to do. This is just one of those things to do, just like going parasailing or going to the beach. It's just one of those things that's on a list. People are going to come whether we stink or whether we're in first place, but there's not going to be many of them. So let's base our business around knowing that, and let's dump our high payroll guys like Adrian Gonzalez. And if that is really the way that they are not ever going to get anywhere, if that's the attitude they're going to take. If you're just going to say, look, we're going to have the smallest payroll, we're going to look at our games as they're an event that people can come to, along with all the million other things you can do here in San Diego, which you can find a lot of those things at SDEntertainer.com. And, if that's the case, that's the way they're going to look at it, I it's going to be really disheartening for me because that's not what I want to see.
Part of the problem, Derek, is the TV money. San Diego's such a small market that they just don't have that influx of TV money. It's not like the NFL where there's a rev share deal and everybody basically makes a commensurate amount of the pie. Boston, I mean, the TV rights in Boston, I don't even know what they are, but they're in the tens of millions, and the Padres are probably 40 or 50 million. And they're not going to lose money on the ball club, which, to me, if you get involved, you got to invest. If you're going to get involved and be a champion, you've got to invest the money. Otherwise, I mean, last year was a great year. You know, the team did way beyond where they should have, and you got to give them credit. It was great, and I thought the manager was great, but...
Well, Bud Black won Manager of the Year.
And rightfully so. Absolutely. He got the most out of his talent. But I remember, you know, interviewing Bruce Bochy years ago when he got raped and pillaged by the ownership. And he just, I mean, that's a tough job. You just, nowadays, it's almost impossible to compete, particularly medium and long term, if you don't have the talent.
Yeah, and it's so hard to find in baseball. It's such a difficult sport. But, you know, I mean, for me, it's I'm trying not to go too far with it and trying not to, you know, read between the lines too much. But at the same time, I have a problem when we lose our best player and people are trying to put a positive spin on it. The bottom line is that we are not a better team now. And if they're circulating all these reasons why it's good to let a guy go who's clearly the best player on the team and has been for years, who had another year left in his contract here because of these guys who are like 19 years old in a farm system somewhere, you're just not going to get me to say, oh, yeah, oh, those guys, Bob Smith and Ron Schluckelmeyer in Double A, who've never even seen a 95-mile-an-hour fastball before. Sure, those guys are going to really contribute. No! Who knows? You never know with these. You know, that's baseball. It's too hard. If you could buy it, the Yankees would win every year. You can't. You know, but if you have a good player and someone who's a recognizable name, and he's not even asking for as much money as he's worth, and you go ahead and let him go, especially to the Red Sox. I mean, come on. That just stinks. Of all the places to let our best player go, you send him to the freaking Red Sox. It's like the one team I can't stand in Major League Baseball. But at the same time, they're a good organization. They know what they're doing, and they make coin. I mean, they do it right. It's a business.
Yeah, you can't blame them for pulling the trigger because what a deal. They're going to get him. I agree with you. And what message does that send to future players that are coming when you're not going to reward them for, I mean, let's face it, he's been underpaid since he got here pretty much.
Yeah.
And now they're not only not rewarding them, but going, okay, thanks, we took advantage, goodbye.
Yeah, we're going to get the last little bit we can. We're going to squeeze the washcloth and turn it until every last drop is out and send you on your way. I'm sure he's a happy guy today. You know, going to the Red Sox franchise, the chance to create a name there, the chance to win a championship. He's got to be happy, and I'm happy for Adrian because of that. I'm just a little bit upset because it would have made a lot more sense to see an effort to try to keep him here. I'd have been happier. And so would you, most likely.
And my sources tell me that he would have rather stayed. But it just didn't make sense. He obviously he's happy with the deal. He's with a big time market, immediate contender. But I think the people that I've spoken with told me that if they'd have made him a fair offer, he would have stuck it out.
Really, God bless it. Well, you know, Paul would know that. Paul Hinchell here, the publisher of the San Diego Entertainer Lifestyles magazine, SDEntertainer.com, where the Entertainer slogan is everything San Diego. And, it's obviously one of the premier sources for everything from what's cool in restaurants, the latest fashions, fitness and beauty tips, financial advice, entertainment, of course, and much more. So each Monday we're going to be bringing you guests specific to these ideas. Paul, tell us a little bit about SD Entertainer real quick.
SD Entertainer has been around for years, since the early 80s, actually, and we relaunched as an all-electronic publication about a year ago, and we've had a tremendous positive response. People our writers, our readers, really have turned to us for the cool things to do in San Diego, and it's been neat to see the transition from the old-fashioned printed word to the electronic version that we now have. And it gives us a chance to react more quickly. We're often on the cutting edge of news because when a story comes up, we can immediately publish it, and our team can jump on it.
And people can read it.
Absolutely.
Access it right away.
It's really cool. And for me, being an old timer, it's fun to see. And today, Derek, we've got a couple of, it's entertainment and lifestyle is really kind of a broad series of categories. It's sports, it's fashion, it's health, and we try to cover as much of it as we can. So we have a pretty broad audience, and today is a good example of that. We have Marketa Hanshova, who is the Dean of Education from Platt College, and that's going to skew a little bit younger than our other guest, who's Thomas Bowles of Telesis Financial, who's going to be giving information on specifically rolling over IRAs this time of the year. Everyone's wondering, what the heck do I do? So it's everything from restaurants to clubs to we do interviews with celebrities, and it's a lot of fun, actually, to be the publisher.
Everything San Diego, as the slogan goes, sdentertainer.com. Now, you and I are sitting here today. We're a little glum because of what happened with the Chargers, taking a step backwards. Still 6-6, not out of it by any means, but definitely going uphill now and getting a steeper slope as we move forward here, in the Western Division. And a lot of people, might be down for other reasons. There's a lot of reasons to get down right now, and I feel bad even feeling a little bit sad about what's going on between Adrian Gonzalez and the Chargers and all the things that have happened here recently. And, I just look at that and I say, you know what? We still have so much to be thankful for. We live in the best city
Absolutely.
in the world, probably. We have a great climate here. We have a lot of good things to do. We should be very happy, but there's one thing that can really keep people down, and that's financial stress. Now, I always say that, financial security won't necessarily make you happy, but financial insecurity sure can make you unhappy. And if you or anyone you know is experiencing financial stress, let me explain something to you really quick here. It is your legal right to become debt-free. Did you know that? Did you know that you can delete and eliminate all of your credit card debt, medical bills, any unsecured debts that you have through a properly timed Chapter 7 bankruptcy? Did you know that? Did you know that bankruptcy is the number one thing that they don't want you to know about? Because they don't benefit from a bankruptcy, you do. And a lot of people need a fresh financial start right now, and that is exactly what Chapter 7 bankruptcy does. If you or anyone you know wants to become debt-free, make sure you call William McDonald today for a free consultation. He's the best bankruptcy attorney in Southern California and a very good person. You will enjoy speaking with him. You can trust him, and you can trust me on that. 858-437-0103 if you want to become debt-free. 858-437-0103. And did I mention that your credit score goes higher? Almost every single time. The Chapter 7 only lasts 100 days. It's not nearly what they want you to think, because it's something that can be very good for you. You want to become debt-free, 858-437-0103. When we come back, we're going to have more things you must know and things they don't want you to know. We've got a very special guest on the way, the Dean of Education at Platt College.
Absolutely.
Marketa Hanshova. When we come back, Mr. Credit, ESPN 1700. It's the lunch.
Are you sick and tired of just barely making the minimum payments on your credit cards? Do you have any idea how many years it will take for you to pay them off? Hi, Mr. Credit here. If you're robbing Peter to pay Paul, listen very closely. Filing for Chapter 7 bankruptcy protection could allow you to eliminate all of your credit card debt and typically only lasts about 3 months. Most likely, your credit score will go much higher afterward. The only person I recommend you speak with about this is William McDonald with the McDonald Legal Group. Call him right now. 858-437-0103. That's 858-437-0103. A 90-day late payment on a credit card will hurt your credit score as much as filing for bankruptcy will. So stop living paycheck to paycheck and call William right now for your free consultation. 858-437-0103. That's 858-437-0103.
This is Lisa with the McDonald Legal Group. We are a debt relief agency. We help people file for bankruptcy relief under the Bankruptcy Code.
If you are visiting Mexico and are a victim of crime or abuse by any authority, the National Commission of Human Rights is here to help you. Whether you're a citizen of Mexico or a foreign country, the NHRC protects you at all times. Call 01-800-7152-000.
My mortgage guy, Craig Sewing with the Craig Sewing Group, Mission Valley and Gateway Funding. I know, and you say this all the time, in difficulty lies opportunity. There is a ton of opportunity in this market right now.
Obviously, refinancing exciting, best opportunity we're ever going to see. The Fed has just pledged $600 billion in this quantitative easing, which causes mortgage rates to move to insane lows. So I would actually change the terminology from refinance to re-strategize, because you can also look at if things are going okay for you. Maybe you want to knock some years off your mortgage, go to a 20-year or even a 15-year, which you usually wouldn't be able to do in most markets, but when you have historically low interest rates, essentially allows you to cut those years off, not see that payment go up.